they've missed out on the good old days, if I can put it like that. So I just want to get brutally honest about dating standards these days, especially with regards to my guys, the men out there. So it's no longer surprising when you run into a bunch of guys who say, then they had to settle for a mama. And I know, but what I'm about to tell you, so you will not be surprised if you run into a guy who says that the reason he's decided to settle with that babe that he's with is because she liked him first. I know. You've never heard of something like that. And in fact, in certain manosphere conversations, most dudes out here are advised to date or love, or should I say love a woman that loves you fast. A woman who is giving you proper attention. That's the one you're supposed to settle with, because apparently it doesn't make sense for you to constantly chase after a mama that doesn't like you that much, because you're going to spend your money on her, and then eventually you're just going to feel the resistance. It's like she's forcing herself to be with you, and no one deserves that. But then in a situation like that, most of the time, these guys end up being cheated on because you forced something that wasn't there in the first place. You guys, it's almost as if you forced this mama to be with you, and now she's settling for you, maybe because she's feeling sorry for you. So I think most guys out here are afraid to pursue the relationships that they really, really want. Because number one, okay, three things. One, you're worried what people are going to think. So if you like a girl that looks like Huda Monroe or Tanasha Donna, is that her name? Yeah, or Vera Sidika, whatever, man. Any kind of girl out there that you desire. You're thinking, you get me, I can't take this mama to the digo. She goes and meets my mom. You get, my mom's going to judge me, man. Yeah, and you know how some of our old school parents can be, man. You're thinking your mom is gonna judge you and say, you got that chick, she's for the streets. She has a bunch of tattoos. Kevin, you can never trust a mama, like that. And does she party too much, Baba? Yeah, I'm like, mommy, she actually parties a lot. I can never call her my daughter-in-law. No. Kevin, why can't you? Hey, but there was a time my mom actually asked if she can organize for me a mama. Like it was gonna be an arranged marriage, man. I was open to that, but until I went to uni and I told my mom, mommy, lenga that story for some time. My mom was very old school. RIP. I get a wife when I'm very young. I should have. But now I think I have the right wife. Yeah, the perfect one for me. Yeah. So, you see, the thing about most guys, like I said, number one, the reason these guys are going to be afraid of going for whoever they want is this guy is thinking most guys are going to judge him. And then number two, the reason you don't want to go for the mama that you really want is you're thinking she's probably high standards. Yeah? You're thinking hypergamy. I know you have weird insecurities and you're imagining out of boy. You're not going to be able to take care of this girl. You're thinking maybe she's so fly, and because of that she has a lot of attention out there from guys. You're thinking there's a bunch of guys in her DM. You're thinking she's going to play you. Yeah, you're thinking, she's for the streets. Maybe she has like a sponyo out there. You're going to have all these random excuses for why you're not really dating who you want. And then another one is because you're not ready. You don't have the money. You know how the economy is out here. You're not ready. Let me tell you, bro, it's one thing to like a girl. It's another thing to do the dating process, taking her out for dinner, you want to surprise her someday, a gift of some sort, right? Maybe it's Valentine's or her birthday. And so men usually imagine, me, if I can't do all these things, and then this chick is going to start ridiculing me. She's going to put my name out there and say I'm a broke guy. So I'd rather work on myself right now. And then in future, I'll pray that God will actually bless me with the right mama. So I think most guys out here, not all, most guys, in fact, average men, really don't have a type. I found out that most guys don't actually have a type. You know what their type is? Yeah, it's like they have a general type for these kinds of men. They have a general type. You know what that type is? And this is deep, by the way, what I'm about to tell you. Their type is the woman who gives them enough attention. Hakuna kitu bamba machali hivo. Let me tell you, even if it's at work, Yeah, I'm a uko home, in the hood, wherever, man. Yeah. Ati a babe, first of all, she could be an average, like a 5 out of 10, I'm even a 4. But the fact that she is looking at this guy some type of way, yeah, the fact that she's initiated some sort of contact, this guy is gonna be in love. This guy is gonna imagine that this babe sees the best in him. She sees his potential. There is nothing most. Some people always say, "Ati mamas like attention." We agree. I think we all know women like attention, but men, especially men who don't come from that background of being admired by women, you know what I mean? Women, like a pretty boy type vibes. The type of guy who has never been women have never found to be attractive. That guy, if he finds an average mama giving him attention, this guy is going to settle so fast. This guy's going to be like, yo, man, me, I'd rather just be with this mama over here, even if she's average, even if she's not really my type. At least I'm not going to stress myself, over cartiering her, trying to please her, nini. Until now, you're like, if you're this guy's friend, you're like, bro, what are you doing with this chick, man? Like, she's not even your class, man. And then you know what, especially at a certain age, men, usually when we get to a certain age, we lose it, man. The only thing now you're looking for is company. Because you're scared of dying alone, eh? Bro, you've settled for some mama, mazeni. Even us guys in your crew, eh? We're like, what? Bruh, nah, man, nah, bro. Let me organize for you, my sister. Even my sister would probably not like you when she sees you with this chick over here. So I don't know whether it's loneliness. I don't know whether it's just men looking for validation out here, and so they accept whatever opportunity comes along. Let me ask you something, even for babes, yeah? Even for women. This one goes both ways. Let me ask you a question. If you could make a completely different dating decision right now, if I could take you back to the days when you were at your peak, let me tell you, your sexual, how you're rated in the market in terms of your sexuality, your appeal. Yeah? If your appeal is really good, like a 9 out of 10, if I can take you back to those days when you were such a fresh young guy, I'm a young girl, I am so sure you would have probably made a different dating decision compared to the one you have made right now. You know why? Maybe because those days you never really worried you never worried about your family judging you, your friends, your colleagues at work. Because when you wanna pop, man. You know those days when we were popping, when Nameless was Nameless, when Issa was still here, and then you were young, Westy, Canny vibes, all these other things. Yeah, you were all over, yeah? I know you were all over. So maybe you wouldn't be with that, you wouldn't be with this wife of yours now, with this husband. In those days, you would have been dating me. You would have been dating me, man. You'd have been dating some hot babe. Oh, hilarious. If a man knows what he wants in a wife, if a man knows where he can find the right wife, in fact, I want to give you the context of Passport Bros. Yeah? If you knew very well that Upper Uganda, yeah, they have, they usually say in Uganda, those mamas know how to take care of men, yeah? They are proper wife materials. If I gave you some money, a bit of resources, if you had your own cash, whatever, man, and then I've told you, bro, go to Ghana or Uganda or South Africa. South Africa babes are also not bad, yeah? Nigeria. Whatever, man. I tell you to go to either of these countries because you have a better chance of getting a proper wife material over there, and then maybe they're not so demanding. You're not going to spend that much money. Would you actually go? Yeah? Would you pursue that relationship because it's going to make you happy? If you could, you probably would. I know. Let me answer for you. I know you would. I know my guys out here. Yeah, mi najua. Kuna watu wengi out, most dudes, najua ukipata kitu, you get, I know you're done, bro, you're gone. You're probably going to leave your wifey. You know, I know of a story of a guy, yeah? I know a story of a guy from Kisumu, yeah? This guy was a married man. Now, he had toys and, of course, wifey, whatever going on, nini. And so this is a story that a colleague of his told me. So this guy, he used to tell his boy at work that he's not happy in his marriage. And, you know, he kept on telling his boy this, banner a lot of the times. Paka, even when they go out, the only thing he talks about is how his wife doesn't bamba him. So, you know, this guy did, bro. Yeah? He said applying for a green card, banner. Imagine. Yeah? And then when he got that green card, yeah? Bro, the guy left even without telling the mama. And guess what he also did? He left without his kids. He left his kids and wife in Kisumu. By the way, let me tell you how crazy this thing actually happened. Umse alikuwa anajipanga for the longest time. Yeah? And then on a random weekday morning, I don't know what day of the week it was, this guy, he just got up, dressed up vizuri like he's going to Jobo and never came back home. Next thing you know, bana, yeah? He's calling his boy, well, this guy is in America, man. Back at night, it's his boy who went and told the wifey, yo, your guys called me. The guy's in DC. The wifey was like, what? Are you serious? This guy actually went to America without us. Na hakuniambia alikuwa ame lose interest. So there's a bunch of guys, let me tell you, bro. There are a bunch of men in Kenya, yeah? You get these boys, these men, yeah? You get they're living with their family, of course. But trust me, man, these guys are living in hell. It's like this guy is just walking one day at a time, walking on foot to hell. He dreads going back home after work. He dreads even engaging with his kids. You know why? Because he regrets. He bloody regrets marrying this mama, man. Here he's thinking to himself, yani, you get, bro, me, I know myself, bana. Yeah? I remember those days, I was the talk of town. Whenever we go to Westie, all the babes in Westie, you get, they're on my case. Yeah? Corporate Wall Street, Nairobi Wall Street, all the babes in corporate Kenya know me as that fly guy. Yeah? And now look at me, bro. Look at who I have. Look at who's my wife. Because we got a oops baby. No, my mom forced me to marry this mama. Yeah? Do you know how crazy that is? Yeah? So, my question to you is, do you think you're actually dating who you want to be with? Do you think you've married for real who you've always been attracted to, the woman that you've always desired? The man that you've always admired, and you know this is just the man of yani yo. Do you think they are just as in love with you as you are with them? Do you think that's the case? Because I know for real, most people out here, most adults, most guys have settled with people that they never wanted to. And let me tell you, as we get back into the bangers, yeah, because this is the hour where I get emotional. Where we okay, not that emotional like that. Where we put our hearts on our sleeves. Where we get vulnerable. Let me tell you, bro. I understand. I empathize with you. You got to do what you got to do now. It doesn't mean that you walk away from that relationship. But I understand that, unfortunately, you never married who you really wanted to be with. And that sucks. So it means you don't talk about it, you don't revisit the past, you don't make your wife or your husband feel bad just because they were not your first option. And then another thing, you don't dwell on the past. Yeah? Now you don't go around stalking Kev Matara, babes. You don't go around stalking me, yeah? When you're supposed to be with your husband. Yeah, you don't go around looking at DMing me at it just because we had the thing in 2009. It's 2026, man. Focus on your kids and your husband. Okay, so the gray zone is coming through in a bit. Your friends can love you and still give you terrible relationship advice. Did you know that? I'm sure you did. We'll talk about that. Rhythm of Love, Anita Baker. Let's go.
SpiceFM, Nieri.
You know, this old world, it just keeps on spinning around.